Hello, everyone. Got my coffee here. I got coffee, bong rips, and books. There's supposed to be I thought there was going to be a Lakers game on 13 minutes ago, but I was wrong. It starts in 3 hours. So I'll probably do a hangout, and then I might do a hangout later. So let's see here. I'm going to listen to Amber Plaster's new song, Hello, Flat Earth. This is 100% copyrighted to the Adele cover published by Amber Plaster, new Flat Earth girl, lady, woman, who just joined, who just joined the Flat Earth community. She was on Patricia Steer's Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes show just less than an hour ago. And I hope she doesn't mind that I'm going to listen to her whole song. Well, why would you mind?
Back to nation stuff while we were still young. Programmed out of beliefs that inertia is the reason we don't feel the escape. Hello, can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the convention of gravity? And is it theory funny for me? For so long can be explained before you can see and then the sun's closer. What they told us and I began getting Operation Fishbowl. Did you get a chance to join my early discussion to discover how the sun stars are all revolving around you? No more sleep. This station is
You won't need your glow goggles. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Amber. Amber Plaster. She was just on Patricia Steer's Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, so go check out her interview. New Flat Earth woman. Beautiful singing voice, incredible song that she wrote and sang herself. So, welcome to the club. It's a big club, and you and I, we ain't in it. You and I, we ain't in the big club. So, I'm gonna read off some books here. Got ourselves an incoming guest, secret wolf ant guest. Hello from the other side. All right, hold on. Now we hello from the flat of the sky. Oh man, how inspiring is that song? Now I just want to record my, I don't have any of those awesome buttons where it makes your voice better. What's it called? Tune recorder or voice tuning. I don't know, it's a certain thing. Auto tune, I think it's called auto tune. They just push a button and it makes your voice sound like a fucking superstar. Here's a microphone. You press auto tune and it makes you sound like fucking a superstar. And then that microphone gets shut off and you sound like you do in your car. And you're like, you catch yourself sounding like shit. You're like, oh God, that's what I sound like when the music's not on. Yeesh. I know, not all singers have to be truly good singers, you know, have that range of vocals. What do you think punk and grunge comes in? Yeah, they can just fucking, there's so many different genres of music. Love it. Except for country music. Not a fan of country music. Lower vibrations. Predictable globalism programming. So let's see here. Yeah, so I'm going to read off a tiny bit of Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires by Esther and Jerry Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham. So just real quickly, bear with me now, chapter 6. This is the chapter I'm on. Ooh, the law of attraction. You know, you've heard of that one, haven't you? Oh, it's the most powerful law in the universe, is it? Every thought vibrates. Every thought radiates a signal. And every thought attracts a matching signal back. We call that process the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. And so you might see a powerful law of attraction as a sort of universal manager that sees to it that all thoughts that match one another line up. Okay, law of attraction. You understand this principle when you turn on your audio
or when your radio, and deliberately tune your receiver to match a signal from a broadcasting tower. That's right, not a satellite, a broadcasting tower. You do not expect to hear, well, a broadcasting tower is a satellite. You're not expected to hear music that is being broadcast on the radio frequency of 101 FM to be received on your tuner when it is set to 98.6 FM. You know, you understand that the radio vibrational frequencies must match, and the law of attraction agrees with you. And for the last little tiny review here. So as your experience causes you to launch vibrational rockets of desire, you must then find ways of holding yourself consistently in vibrational harmony with those desires in order to receive their manifestation. Not bad, not bad. I call that very light material. It's light reading material. There's light reading material, and then there's very heavy reading material. Very heavy reading material is like, occult Freemasonic books, Robert Anton Wilson. Any of his books are, well, yeah, pretty fucking heavy. Boundary dissolvers. I'm reading, shit, I should probably go get it. Yeah, I'm gonna go get that real quick. Robert Anton Wilson. Just, we got a friend here.
Yo, what up?
Yes, what's up, Wolf Ant?
Oh, good. Squid Genius. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go to your page, YouTube page, see who's watching and whatnot.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, thanks for joining, man. Let's see here. We got. I was just talking about different books I'm reading. I'm gonna go get the Robert Anton Wilson book that I'm reading right now that he mentions flat Earth and multiple times.
Cool.
Go down, buddy. I just let you out and you just ate. Good boy.
Dan,
all right.
Is my sound okay and everything, or should I put headphones on?
Oh no, you sound fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this is I've showed you this one before. The New Inquisition, but like I was talking about the difference between light material and heavy material, and specifically light reading material versus heavy reading material. And for instance, Esther and Jerry Hicks, the teachings of Abraham, ask and it is given, learning to manifest your desires, forward by the famous Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, who recently passed away, I think, and whatever, bless his soul. And yeah, so I would consider that light material, even though it's, you know, some would consider that heavy material, but that's very light material to me. That's like a nice brain reprieve to, you know, to integrate and get myself to, you know, think differently. I don't know. That's a little bit too, the law of attraction is a little woo-woo for me, but, you know, it's got some good aspects to it. So, you know, I've never, ever read The Secret. Let's just put it that way, ever. I don't need to read that, even though that's all about the law of attraction. And so, like, I get stuck on, so now I'm reading one, Asking It Is Given, The New Inquisition, and since we were talking the other day, I picked up our Carlos well, I didn't pick up, I pulled out my Carlos Castaneda. I have a few of his books. And this one's actually from the 70s, The Second Ring of Power, and I'm pretty sure you didn't read this one.
Yeah, this is the last one I read of his.
Oh, this is the last one you read of his?
Yes, it has La Gordita in it. Some
Yes.
pretty, yes, yeah,
Wait, and Donna Soledad? Do you remember Donna
yes.
Soledad, or is that a different one? Okay, okay,
No,
okay.
there.
So yeah,
For anybody who speaks Spanish out there, it's got La Gordita, who is not at all gordita. Because gordita means kind of fat, but she isn't. Not that it matters, but she can fly.
wait a minute. What'd you just say?
Yes, in that story, it tells you how she can. Oh, what I said was La Gordita, which is one of the characters there, who teaches Don Juan, even though she's also one of the Don Genaros and one of. Sorry, she
Teaches Don
Carlos.
Juan or Carlos?
No, Carlos.
Okay, I'm
Carlos.
like, Jesus Christ.
Yes, no. But Don Juan does say that he learns from her. You know, it's very interesting. Very. But I was saying that even though she's called La Gordita, which means the chubby one, the fat one, she isn't. That's just her name.
Okay.
Let me show you what I'm reading. Well, I say I'm reading. I'm not reading. I just ordered it. It just arrived.
Oh, okay.
And I will read this listening to some comedy. Can you see?
Alexander
Solzhenitsyn.
Solzhenitsyn.
The
And
Gulag
it says,
Archipelago.
huh? What's that about?
Oh, it's about how society goes from being kind of smooth running society, how it's infiltrated, and how it drives the ideal of a utopian society actually ends up in genocides. The opposite of the utopian society. Yes. Very, very heavy book. That's a heavy book. That's a heavy book.
Yes, heavy material versus light material, folks. That's what we're talking about. Oh, and actually, man, all this syncing up has been happening lately. So yeah, so I got. Did you ever read The Eagle's Gift?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna get that one real quick then. Hold on, because I couldn't remember last time we talked. I wasn't sleeping well then, and actually I stayed up till 6:30 in the morning last night too. I didn't sleep really much at all. As you can tell, my eyes are pretty shot right now. Besides,
So what's keeping you awake? Do you know? Is it thoughts? Is it thoughts? Is it you've not finished thinking yet?
Yeah. I was watching that Alan Watts video I shared with the group, and for the first minute of it, I was like, "What's going on with this bear, man? I can totally relate with this bear." And I've heard that exact Alan Watts speech before, but hearing it again is it's just music to your ears. And so for the first minute, I was intrigued and like curious and smiling, and then literally like all of my thoughts and all of my life experiences in interactions with different people that I'm talking to currently, and things that are coming to an end. And so I'm just letting go of all of it, and being accepting of surrendering, and also of feeling the deep sorrow and the deep joy, and at the same time simultaneously. And then like I said, like I'm about to say, I literally was just tears and weeping for the last 10 minutes of the video. It was only like 11 minutes, so for the first minute I was like, and all of a sudden, so literally the whole time I was just like, but it was like such a stoic weep, and it felt good, and it was like, yeah. And I was just talking to my mom the other day on the phone, and like I was talking to her about being like Bill Paxton died, and of course the first thing I say to her, I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, she's like, yeah, I liked him. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, where his top 5 famous movies are. You know him from Twister, Apocalypse, and a Twister. And you know, like she just barely giggles, like barely giggles. My mom like hates tragedies and death because she's seen more tragedy and death than most human beings on this plane of existence. Had her her brother die, her sister die, her mother die, her son die, fucking her father fucking abandoned. It's like, dude, I can't even imagine the amount. Like, and she kept a lot of that away from me growing up as a kid. So like, it's like weird.
You
Oh,
have
and
to
I
think
was
of her
talking.
fortitude. You have to kind of be thankful for her fortitude, because lots of people would have just been broken.
Yeah, it's really it's a touching and touchy subject for me. Anyone's mother's is Jesus. Uh, um, so so I was talking with her and I noticed, I'm like, God, what a dick thing to do. And so I immediately called myself out to my mom. I'm like, yeah, sorry, mom. It's just the unemotional wannabe comedian side of me. I'm and uh, and it's just like, but at the same time, I even like I even stopped that person or that train of thought or emotions, and I'm like, mom, I'm like, see how I'm unemotional and I can be Mr. Unemotional. I'm like, but I'm very emotional in other times, and like, you don't. No one tells me when I'm. You don't get to tell me when I'm emotional. I'm in control of my emotions. No one else is. No matter how hard they want to try to trigger you, and to like, I ultimately choose when to be triggered and when I'm yelling at people, and that's me.
So that you can
I
enjoy it. This way you can
Yes.
enjoy it. If you choose it, then you get to ride it instead of getting, you know, pulled along by it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something I am actively working on observing, because I literally watch myself. I feel like it's like I I know when I'm completely overboard. Like I know when I'm yelling too much and I'm being too big of a dick. And I'm like, should I keep? And I normally scale it down, but it's just like, it's good to, if you feel like, what was it? Robert Anton Wilson said in one of his books, Quantum Psychology or something like that. He said, if you feel like you're being lashed out at or victimized, literally scream and lash out at these people. And you have every right to scream and lash out back if you feel like you're being taken advantage of. And I was listening to the Ultimate Warrior legend, and um, and I put him on. And he's like, he's out. He's completely out of breath because he just got done working out. He's bigger than both of us combined at the age of 60 or 55 or however old he was, like barely 60 years old. And yeah, he literally would kill both of us in a single stare
But he
down.
wouldn't. He wouldn't. He would give us a
No.
hug instead and said, "Do some press ups. Come on."
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior is a legend. Yeah, like let's see here. So he goes, he's like, if you, what did he said this exact same thing. He's like, you got to go out there if you feel it, and I've heard you say it before too. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of, and if you have your enemies out there, he's like, kill them. He's like, kill them, just screaming, and I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is so relevant to what's going on. And then I watched to go completely. I go stream of consciousness here. I watched The Big Lebowski with my roommate. He's like he knows that I save like certain music albums and certain movies, and I've said that to you I think recently. And he's like, you've never seen The Big Lebowski? I'm like, yeah, I know, it's a fucking cult classic, and I'm like, I've seen clips of it. Like, I know the character, the dude, and he's always carrying around a White Russian, and that one dude tells Donnie to shut the fuck up. But I don't know what the hell the movie's about. I'd never seen it from start to finish. So I just watched it the other day, and it was about like Saddam Hussein, the Iraq War, and fucking this dude was mixed in the whole thing with a random carpet that got pissed on, and I don't know what was going on, but it was really interesting and philosophical, and and nihilism got discussed. Fucking nihilist, man.
Yeah.
Fucking nihilist. And I was like, these people are fucking nihilist. Like the whole part of it was these stupid nihilist characters. And yeah, so the whole, I was like, man, this is trippy. And I'm like, as I was watching it with my roommate, who's an I don't knowist, and I don't know her, who's admittedly he's an agnostic.
Yeah.
I'm pure agnostic. He's just whatever you want to call it, a regular agnostic. Pure agnostic is literally being 100% okay with being 100% uncertain about things.
Yeah, 100% not committed to an idea.
Yeah,
yeah,
and to exposing myself, really. Let's see here. Not literally exposing myself, but exposing my ego.
Yeah. Listen, Dan, if you're going to read some of this, let me go. I'm going to mute myself. Let me make a tea. I was halfway through making a tea, and I'll come and I'll be straight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just continue on with the book rant here and then
Cool.
join back in. Thanks. All right. So, oh yeah. So I got to get that other book for him. I'm going to get the Eagle's Gift. And let's see here. Oh yeah, I got to read that. I got to read that to him. Yeah, that's awesome. So then I'm going to go get that. Let's see the chat room here. If anyone's even watching this. You can get a couple people watching. Let's see here. All right. Oh, yeah, I'm going to put that on mute just in case. Let's see here. You got check out Stellarium. Yeah, Stellarium's a free app that you can, or a free download that you can get on your computer. I've been using Stellarium since like 2011, maybe before that. God, I've been deep in the rabbit hole since 2009. People's assumptions and projections. Man, that's awful. Trying to tune down my own assumptions, because I admit I do assume a lot to people to speed up conversations. So I'm like, so what are you saying, this? So then they can correct me. So I just assume, so then they can speed up the conversation and get to the point. It's a little conversation tactic I use. I'm willing to look like an ass when I assume, so then I speed up their stories so they can get to the point. A little psychology there. But yeah, you're watching Flat Earth Falcon.
You have to do that.
You heard what I said?
Yeah. I mean, it helps. It really helps. It genuinely helps.
But here's the difference between assuming the regular Globehead way and assuming the way I just admitted to, the way that I assume a lot. I do it a lot in daily conversations, and I do it all the time.
Well, we all, as human beings, we all, whenever we're engaged in a dialogue with someone, somebody says something and we respond to what they said, but we're responding to what we assume they meant. We do it all of the time. And this is what arguments and confrontations are about. Somebody says something, you hear something, interpret it, you assume what you've heard and interpreted is what they meant, so you attack it.
Yeah. And then they misunderstand it, or because they misinterpreted it.
Yeah.
Well, because usually they're Globehead assumptions.
Yeah, we should, the Native Americans in the Great Lake, they had the powwow and the peace pipe, and they would, when they would sit and talk, each person would talk until they were convinced that they had explained themselves and their idea as thoroughly as they could. And then anybody who had a question would ask a question to help that person clarify. And when that person had finished, then there would be a period of thought before the next person spoke, because they're assimilating what they've taken in, they're absorbing it, they're looking at it, they're looking to see whether any objection they might have had now no longer is there, and they're positing a new thought. So there was no rush. But in the West, it's bam, 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 back and forth. It's like ping pong, the way we speak in the West.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for damn sure. That's how I am. I'm very and I mean, I have the unique perspective of living on the East Coast in New York for pretty much all of my life. Well, till I was 23 and a half years old when I moved to Los Angeles. I drove from Buffalo, New York, all the way to Los Angeles, California, all by myself.
How was
And
that, dude?
oh well,
How-
it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, I actually had a Kodak camera, and I still have all the pictures I took. A lot of flat pictures, believe it or not.
Man, I mean, like, how long did it take? The journey?
Oh,
with-
well, actually, I went to AAA beforehand because I was driving a '97 Black Mustang, and so I went to AAA beforehand, and I did a manual triptych, meaning I went down to North Carolina first to see my friend at the Marine base, and then and I was supposed to pick up the GPS system, but I actually accidentally left it there. So I still had my manual triptych. So literally, I was all right. Let's go down. So triptych is I put my course in. I told them exactly what I was going to do, which was go to North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, and then go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to visit my grandma and relatives there. And I stayed there for actually well, I stayed with my Marine buddy and his wife for a couple of days, like a weekend or maybe like 3 days. And I got the fuck out of there, and then I think it was like a weekend, and then I oh yeah, and then I stayed in like Kansas, man. And I remember driving past Kansas, and I'm like, man, this shit is flat as fuck. It said that like the flat city and like one of the signs. I'm like, this shit is flat everywhere. I'm like, it really is flat as a pancake because I remember hearing that before. And it was just funny. It's just funny looking back on it and remembering it. And I stayed there, and I want to get into a giant rant on what I did, but it was fun, man. And but like a crazy story happened in fucking like Kansas or Kentucky. Like I ended up staying at this diner, like this pancake diner, and like I was charging my phone and computer, and just eating some food and recharging myself and reading a book, and actually I was reading some Fyodor Dostoevsky at the time. I was reading like Crime and Punishment, I think. Driving across.
I love that book. I really like that.
I think that's the one I would. Yeah, man. So like that's what I first got into, like Fyodor and Nietzsche when I first drove over. Like I didn't know. I just knew that they were philosophical legends in their own right, and so I got a couple of their books. I got Thus Spoke Vasarasta, and so like I felt like I was on some sort of Superman trip. I was like, what's going on here? I'm like, am I the Superman? Like, what the hell why am I reading this shit right now? Like, why did I, like, this dude just gave it. He's like, he was reading it. He was a rapper in Buffalo, and we were just I know this whole like group of rappers in Buffalo that are getting bigger and bigger. Every time I go back over there, they're bigger and bigger. And like they're opening up for like who the fuck was it? It was like a like fucking someone really good in Buffalo, because Buffalo's blowing up. The Buffalo scene. Buffalo, like, here's the thing. New York City is 10 years behind California and their laws. So California is the progressive state, and it does all of its laws ahead, and it gets all of its businesses, and it figures out all of the little loopholes. So then New York comes in, and it's like, all right, let's learn from California's mistakes, but at the same time, let's manipulate the system because of what we learned from California. And so everyone's just like, there's no such thing as Uber drivers in New York City. Weed is illegal still over there in New York. So like Uber and weed, like it's a whole different state, and it's a whole different world in the West Coast compared to the East Coast. Mm-hmm. Okay, so sorry to rant so much, but then I went to Colorado, stayed there for like a week and a half. Oh yeah, because I wanted to get to Los Angeles in time for Halloween. so I had a plan. I knew how long I was going to take. So then I went to Vegas, stayed in Vegas for like a weekend because I played poker for a fuckload of time. And yeah, I had amazing stories that in Las Vegas, crazy stories. And then finally I made it to the Staples Center, which is the Los Angeles Lakers arena, which is where I just finally went inside of recently for the first time to go see the Los Angeles Lakers play. And that's when I went to go see Joe Rogan with my photo painting Powerlands t-shirt. And he was staring at me with those wide orbs that he does that he has. He's like, he's staring at me like fucking, but he was really, it was interesting. I was like, it was interesting to, I was like, I was triggered by barely anything he said because, but I was definitely on edge. If he was going to say anything about the flat Earth, I would have heckled him immediately. Like I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to get heckled. No, I'm not going to heckle you at all. As a matter of fact, if you do heckle, you're probably going to get kicked out. I mean, you can get away with saying a sentence or two at a top tier club like that, a comedy store. But if you cross the line, you're going to get kicked out because the comedian's going to call you out if you say something stupid. And then he'll just get this fucking idiot out of here. So, but if he was going to say something about making fun of the flat Earth, I would have gone live on my computer or on my Facebook phone, and I would have got myself kicked out, and I would have started screaming about the flat Earth. And but this isn't the last time I'm going to see. Like, here's my problem with these conspiracy researchers that we have in the flat Earth community, is that they don't go out and do the actual recon face-to-face themselves. They just sit behind their computers and they tap in their numbers and they put in their little codes. And it's like, yeah, but I do that too. I've been doing that, since well before 2010. And but I've gone and seen these people face-to-face. And I've met these people and been embraced shook their hands, looked into their eyes, and been held in their arms, shoulder to shoulder. It's like you have to do that part of the recon, the investigation, the journalism, gonzo journalism, I believe somebody once called it. And it's like you become a part of the story because you notice these people are staring at you for far too long, and then they follow you on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. It gets yeah. So. You have to meet these people face. Well, no, I don't need to meet these people. Adele is a Satanist and she's an occultist. Dude, I mean, okay, I don't know Adele. Maybe she is a Satanist, but for crying out loud, you don't know the definition of an occultist, okay? You don't know the definition of occultism or an occultist. Or the occult in general. You have to redefine your dictionary. You got to
it's like this, Dan.
Vamp it.
For the people out there who will label people as occultists and say, look at this occultist ceremony or these. It's like, no. Occult means hidden. If they were occult, you would not know what they did or did not worship, what strategy they used. You simply, straightforward, would not know. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah, that
so
would
when people
be,
say, oh, this person is an occultist. Oh, really? Well, if you think that, then you're probably wrong.
Yeah, like that, what you just said right there, like it took me, let's see here, I'm 31 now, and I'll just put it 2009, so 1 year plus 8, so about 8 years, almost a whole decade I've been on the middle way, the pathless path, the middle way. And because I've never been an atheist. I've been anti-God, certainly anti-God, but never an atheist.
But even when you're anti-God, you're really anti the concept of God that's been kind of edged in your mind from what other people have told you or from what other people have written. So
Exactly.
that's what you're against. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Osho is the one who first turned me on to that whole anti-God thing, and without being scared of saying it out loud. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's just, yeah. I love that. Like yeah, it reminds me of the subgenius religion. It gives you excuses to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what's wrong with telling people that? Well, there's a whole like negative side of the subgenius, which is calling people like pink boys and pink girls and pinks and all these names that they come up with. And there's a lot worse. Like that's one of the most polite ones that we have is, and if you look up the definition of what a pink or a pink boy is, it's like, it's really horrible, but it's absolutely hilarious. And I call people out on it all the time. Like, yeah, don't pretend to be a subgenius if you're not an official member. It's you got, that's called false slack. You have to pay your due, and if you don't, it's about $35. 30. It used to be like 15. It was 20. It raises about $5 every 5 years, and so I paid about I think about $30, something like that. I think I got a deal because I know the leaders of the church, and I've shown in my previous videos that I've literally, it says the subgenius religion says join and triple your money back guaranteed, and I've shown in my previous videos I've gotten my money back. Like I bought all 3 of the religious holy texts, the tomes that the subgenius have. The first one is oh man, I don't want to butcher the titles. They're so fucking the Biblia, the Biblia Bablicon, or like there's so many. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look this up. But so it says, yeah, triple your money back, and it's weird because it says that Bob, the prophet, the saint of Slack himself, he will show up in your life and prove his existence to you, and he did. Like all of a sudden, I'm looking up all this Bob Dobb material, and he shows up with Johnny Cash videos. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I can show you a video where Bob Dobbs is the person who launched Johnny Cash's career.
Oh.
If you look, Johnny Cash was just like a pool party singer, kind of like Elvis was. You know how he started out. Like Elvis was just a nothing nobody who made I think he recorded a song for his mother, and some lady was like, "Yo, that dude's hot, and he sings pretty goddamn good. Let's make this dude something." And lo and behold, Elvis is the king of kings. And fuck, what were we talking about? Johnny Cash. So I look up J.R. Bob Dobbs with Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash is very, very young in this video, and and he's singing at a pool party, and it's a very interesting song too. And fuck, man, you know what?
Yeah.
I want to be like that guy. I want to be like that guy on Joe Rogan's. It sucks. I have to do all my own work, but Joe Rogan has his own do where he puts up all his videos and images. It's fucking awesome. I also found a brand new talk with Terrence McKenna at an excellent in-house get-together a year before he passed away that I'm excited to listen to. It's called Terrence, aka Terrence Goes on an Incredible Rant. This is Terrence, if you're intelligent and you live past 40, you will outgrow your culture. Some people may do it sooner, but you have to be a complete idiot to just buy in at 55, at 60, at 75. At 80, what are you still going to be doing? Expressing homophobic views, voting Republican, and worrying about the ABCs of phony reality. Most people get to a place where they just see it's a bunch of crap. Good old Terrence. Oh, Yes, I have a bunch of stuff to read to you and say to you because I got so many syncs interlocking right now, and I love those stupid conspirators that think union synchronicity is like a CIA. It's like there's so many conspirators out there that think everything is a conspiracy. It's amazing. Like, trust me, man. I love researching conspiracy theories. That's what that's where I started off before Flat Earth, was being a conspiracy researcher. And yeah, it's just Flat Earth really kind of levels you out, pun intended. And you just see it's a big joke, and you're like, oh man, it's pretty serious. It's a pretty serious joke, but then you just gotta laugh at it. But yeah, I gotta get this. I gotta get that Carlos Castaneda, the Eagles gift, and read to you the back of it. You'll find it very interesting.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so yeah, I have a lot of different thoughts going on here, probably incompleted stories that I stopped saying. Let's see here. You know, I love going through these old books I have from goddamn fucking 1900 and from the 20s and 30s and 50s and 70s, and I love going through them, and I love finding trinkets and evidence of the people who owned it prior. Matter of fact, I was going through one of my Freemason books, and in it was a certificate, an award given to the person who owned the book, obviously, and it was from a high school principal, and it was a certificate, award of citizenship, like there was an award of being a good citizen. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. This Freemason must have been a good person. And I can show you I hate going back and forth, but the symbol is a G in the center of it, a capital G.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's very interesting. It's a capital G in the Freemason book, which is a capital G.
Okay, but what's the capital G? What does the capital G symbolize? The G of God?
A lot of things.
The G of God or the G of geometry?
No, it was I mean, it's in the Freemason book, so it's obviously the same thing. It's their God. It's gravity. It's
Oh, big G, of course, like big C. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I don't, that's fine. That's fine. Actually, as a matter of fact, I even found newspapers clips from World War One, I think, and I don't want to say two because I'm pretty sure that it was World War One, and this person was a war hero. It was showing his so he's a war hero and getting all these awards. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty interesting. So I just love the old roses that are put in the book, and I know that there's energy supposedly from the things that inanimate objects like beds that you buy off of other people that have maybe slept in it, and that their sexual energies are still in the mattress. Maybe it's called like psychometry. Let's see here, and old books that you buy from libraries or dead people. Maybe there's some previous energy from different. I don't know. Energy is weird. I actually hate that word. It triggers me. I've like given up these words. Like
which word? Weird?
No, energy.
Energy.
Yeah, all these words they're all just human metaphors, man-made concepts. Like these are new terms. Like we got sick of like we talked about God earlier. So like human beings, like they got sick of the word God because all these different connotations and concepts of it. different ideas and that completely are different, and well, your God's completely different than mine. So like people get bored with that word, so then they went to a different word like Tao or Tao, however you want to pronounce it, and then they switched to like energy, like scientists. They switched to like, and then they switched to like dark matter. Now dark matter, aka Fred, as Neil deGrasse Tyson calls it. Now dark matter is actually, isn't that what this talk is called? Yes. This talk is called Flat Earth FALKENBACH Hangout episode 3.1. Dark matter matters. Black lives matter. White lives matter. All lives matter. Black matter, dark matter matters. To scientists, globehead atheists, dark matter matters. What about light matter? Do you guys know anything about light matter? What about white matter? What about antimatter? There's no such thing as antimatter. I don't believe in.
Where did that go, Dan? Where did that go? Because they were pushing at one point antimatter or antimatter. They were pushing it. One of the Dan Brown books was all about that. Where did that go? That just kind of disappeared, hasn't it? They don't talk about that much.
And now they have all these different types of gravity. Since they don't know anything about regular gravity, just the gravity in general. They don't know anything about gravity still, or dark matter still, anything at all. Nothing, zero, zilch, nada. And but now they're just coming up with more terminologies of different types of gravity. We got super gravity, quantum gravity. There's another type of gravity. Fuck is it? Fuck, man, stupid Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about it. So like, I don't even want to fill my head up with this bullshit. But it's interesting to know their little psycho pseudoscience ways.
Hey Dan.
So let's see.
Dan, have you watched Flat Earth Asshole's latest video?
With the woman?
Yeah, Flat Earth girl versus Ball Earth genius.
No, that's on my to watch list.
Oh, it's only short. You will.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes.
You'll laugh and cry. It's one of those.
Okay, I'll definitely. You see that?
I have not read that one.
This one's a hardcover, $14 from. Let's see here. When is it from? From 81. That's when my brother was born. So let's see here. The Eagle's Gift. You remember? You remember what I just put in the chat room earlier about the tribe of Dan being symbolized with the eagle? It's pretty interesting. I thought that was interesting because I just looked it up. I can feel my lips are starting to peel from the coffee and the lack of Vaseline. People will say, no, it's not from the lack of, it's from your diets, poor dad. Your lips are chapping.
No, but you know what?
Yeah,
this really is true. If you use Vaseline or any kind of lip balm, your body stops producing the lubricant for your lips.
Are you fucking serious, man? I've used Vaseline my whole life.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have to. If your body doesn't have to produce something, it won't.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking evolution assholes forcing evolution on it. Micro evolution on us. Synthetic human fucking evolution on us. Stupid assholes. Okay. Wow, this book's in really fucking old. It's got that old book smell. Sorry, I'm biting my fucking lip skin off here. Hold on. So we got The Eagle's Gift is Carlos Castaneda's most powerful, disturbing, and luminous work to date. In this haunting and deeply personal book, Carlos Castaneda takes the reader into the very heart of sorcery, challenging both imagination and reason, shaking the very foundations of our belief in what is natural and logical. His landscape is full of terrors, mysterious forces, dazzling insights as sharply etched as a flash of lightning on the deserts, mountains, and caves where Don Juan has forced him to pursue the sorcerer's knowledge. But it is also the landscape of the heart and the mind, where the sorcerer's country, where hallucinatory visions, lonely tasks, unexpected moments of human warmth and camaraderie are dominated by the elusive, potent, omnipresent spirit of Don Juan. In The Eagle's Gift, Carlos Castaneda emerges for the first time as the inheritor of Don Juan's powers and tasks, a sorceress leader and figure in his own right. I know this is exciting. As a writer whose powers of mind, imagination, and literature have come together to create a work of bizarre and overpowering strength, as dramatic and moving as it is deep and thought-provoking. Oh, baby. Sounds good, right?
Uh-huh.
So Jesus Christ. So I read, I have Tales of Power, which I've already read. The Eagle's Gift, which I do not think I fucking read. Why would I start? Why would I read the very last one? So I think I picked the wrong book, because I started to read the Second Ring of Power again, which I think I already read, because of I remember that picture of the fucking scary looking dog on there. But I don't know. Like I said, I told you before in the other hangout, I don't know which ones I fucking read anymore. So I read like the first 20 pages of this last night at like 6 in the morning to finally get my mind settled. And Jesus Christ, does it totally bring you to a totally, like, I feel like Carlos, okay, now I remember the other conversation with the Big Lebowski that I still haven't finished. So I'm just like, I feel like, yeah, this is definitely like everyone's on their own path. You're on your own path. Oh, like in the chat, people were talking about the left-hand path. See, there's all these different paths. Perhaps the only true path is knowing that a path is only a path. I don't know whose quote that is, but I like it. Let's see here. So I read this, man. Carlos is meeting Donna Soldad, and he's like, she's transformed. He's like, wait, she looked like way bigger and much more heavier and older. And her hair was gray, and she was frail and weak, and so he comes back. So this is after. So this motherfucking book is after he jumped off the motherfucking cliff with the two apprentices. Mm-hmm. So I'm putting together the fucking timeline now. So I thought that Don Juan or Carlos, you remember when he jumped off the cliff into the abyss? Mm-hmm. So I thought that was the end, but no, that was this book starts off 2 years after that event. Yeah. And yeah, so it's just like, oh yeah, see, it's just, and this Carlos Castaneda, like I said, is one of my first influences and going down I didn't do psychedelics until like I was like 21 years old. Like one of my best friends introduced me to psilocybin mushrooms, and I had an incredible first experience. Transformed into a wolf. Was a wolf leader, and I had my wolf pack, and I was with a literal pack of people who were my wolf pack, and we went into the forest and we're howling and fucking. There was a lot of hilarious shit that happened. Was talking with like a 16-year-old exchange student from Taiwan, and playing hacky sack with them and chilling by the fire and jumping on a trampoline and interacting with all these strangers. Yeah, that's getting off topic here, but let's see here. So, okay, so Don Juan was talking about how all of a sudden he was like, okay, I have to like confront her. Like, he's like, she's trying to get him to go into a certain room, her room. It's pretty scary to go into it's either a good thing. Men are like, yeah, I'll go into a woman's room, but when you haven't seen Don Juan and you're with this particular group of people, it gets a little scary and intimidating and overwhelming.
Especially the way that she especially the way she goes from some sort of suggesting and implying to demanding to insisting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what is this? Why? What? Like, talk about
exactly. No, yeah, I felt that, and so reading that last night actually soothed my soul, knowing that like Carlos is feeling the same fright and terror, and just refusing to go any further until you tell me what the fuck is going on. Like I've said that multiple times to multiple people, like in my life who I've encountered. Like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, are you robbing me? Like, is there like someone hiding in the alleyway over there, and you're like stalling me because you're robbing my car back in the parking lot? Like, and they're like, and I can tell you some things I did, like basically pulling a knife on someone because you're so scared of your life and demanding to telling this person to what the fuck is going on. Why is all this happening to me? Why are you telling me poetry? Why are you I gave this dude $20 before, and he starts talking about like how, dude, one of his first words to me is like, "You're the most important person in the world." And I didn't take it in a literal sense. I think he was just like instilling empowerment into me in general. And it was like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? I'm like, are you a psychic or something? I'm like, what am I, a psychic? I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And he's like, nah, man. He's like, he was insulted. We're not psychics. You're not a psychic. I think this dude is like an angel or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I could tell you the whole entire story. I actually followed this guy. I followed him because I looked at him where he was going down the street, and he turned into the direction of my car that I was sleeping at the time. And so I literally, like some sort of fucking ninja, was just following him. I'm like, is this dude gonna just what? And so he ended up walking past my car, and I just let him go. And this whole night, all this crazy stuff was happening with the cops, with security guards. I finally got a giant blunt. I didn't smoke weed in forever, and I finally got a giant blunt. I was smoking with a security guard. Then I ended up, and a couple of months later, I ended up, about 5.5 months later, I ended up living at the same apartment that I smoked weed with the blunt with the security guard with, at the same building that he guards. And like, I know I'm skipping so much details and a lot of the context in the story, but like I said, it's just all stream of consciousness. And so I watched The Big Lebowski. That was awesome. And then I watched Doctor Strange yesterday. I watched Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange, like I love, like I said before, I love Marvel movies and DC and shit like that. And Doctor Strange is a top 10 most powerful Marvel character. That's pretty goddamn powerful in terms of fictional funness and talking like that, nerdiness. And Doctor Strange's origin story, as I was watching this, and one of my buddies who has like fucking 7,000 fucking followers on Facebook, and he has his own group, and he questions the flat Earth, and he'll probably come around to it soon, because he's been asking questions on it for a couple of years now. I'm in a lot of his groups, and I'm an administrator and a moderator in one of his groups. What is it called? A Paradigm Shift. He's awesome. He makes his own. His name is Brendan Wolfshield Colian or something like that. He's got his own channel. He makes his own documentary videos. His journey is incredible. He talks about sacred geometry and the pineal gland, and he creates his own art and shirts and pins and crystal bracelets and necklaces. This dude's fucking cool as hell. He gives out free hugs to people. How could you fucking hate a guy like that? How can you not support a man like that? So, oh yeah, he lives in Canada.
Well, then fuck him.
And so I don't know. I'm just going off tangent here because I actually fucked up. I was supposed to do a Lakers.
The guy that you just described sounds like a really cool dude.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's awesome. I hope just like Owen Fox is on the Flat Earth train now. He has over 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. I turned him on to it. I love taking credit for certain things because I don't take credit for enough of things, and I know a lot of people steal my ideas. And
wait a second, this is a topic that's dear and close to my heart. The stealing ideas.
Oh, it's so fucking annoying. It's so
no, but you know, there are people who don't so much steal your ideas, but talk about your ideas as if they were their ideas. Okay, so you might make a video about something, and then somebody else you hear discussing the topic that you've made a video about without giving you credit, and I think, fuck it, it's not important. But
yeah,
I had this idea years ago. It was towards when the Gulf War was starting. Okay, the second Gulf War after 9/11, and I was thinking, you know, I should make a flyer, go down to the local army recruiting place and just hand the flyer out outside. And I should word it in a way that would really put people off from joining the army. You know, telling them things, slogans like, join the army, travel to exotic places and kill the inhabitants thereof. And things like that. Now, months later, I'm watching a David Icke big talk, and he's got the flyer just about the same wording behind him on the big screen. You know, the same wording. Go to exotic countries and kill the people who live there. Defend the people who own your country and your family and your streets. Just all the bullet points he had on this big flyer behind him. I'm like, how the hell does this work? How's this? Because he's not looked at my computer. He's not hacked me, you know. It's just ideas just gravitate towards different minds. Or a magnetically drawn. There, that's better than gravitate. They are guided. They're pulled towards the correct mind.
Yes. Whew.
So you were saying you were going to air a Lakers game, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm doing this. I fucked up that whole thing. I get fucked up because I'm 3 hours behind Eastern time. So, and I really just don't care about calendars and time in general, because you know and like that relates to Doctor Strange, because he's like a master of fucking time. Like he's got the power of fucking time. And actually, yeah, he's got the Infinity Stone, which is the time power, the time Infinity Stone. And that's going to lead to the Avengers war, where all the superheroes come together and fight Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet with all of the Infinity Gems in the gauntlet, which makes him the most powerful dude in the universe, Marvel universe, basically. But so like, finally they're going to settle the Spider-Man copyright problem, because Spider-Man's more popular than pretty much all of these groups combined. Like Fantastic Four, Avengers, X-Men. Like Spider-Man is literally more popular than all of them. I hate to burst your little nerdy bubble there, but yeah, and that's why he's his own copyright, and that's why everyone wants a piece of Spider-Man, and that's why there's that copyright issue with him only. And that's why.
Do you know what I don't understand? Okay, why have they gone through? How many different actors have they had place the new Spider-Man? You know, since they started doing the Spider-Man, they did
Tobey Maguire, that other that dude that was banging that Emma Watson chick, and then this new British dude, that little British guy.
So why? My question is why? How does that happen that an actor passes on the idea of portraying him longer? is the filming so freaking tedious because it's all green screen that they think,
No.
fuck it. What is it?
No, they gotta. It's the the money goes. The money and the interest goes down with certain actors.
Yeah.
So they drop that actor, and then they get a new actor. So then they'll generate more interest, more, and get a chance to get their budget back and actually make money. It's all about money, and it's also about continuing the legacy of the character. So they keep evolving all of these characters, and they keep getting stronger and stronger. By the way, and their origin stories change. And by the way, there's two Spider-Mans now. Well, there's multiple multiple Spider-Men. There's a black half black and half Latino Spider-Man who's super popular and who's actually going to be in the new movies coming out. So they Peter Parker, the white man Peter Parker, who started off as a young man, a young boy actually, and he's not like 16. He was like 16, 15 years old when he first started, Peter Parker, and then now he's like mid 30s. He's like 35. And like Batman, you know how Batman, he's like mid 40s now.
Yeah.
So and when he started off though, he was probably like mid 30s, or see how, and then you have Wolverine, and then he was young and brutal, and then now you got old man Logan. You see how they keep changing it? It's the same thing with the WWE characters. They keep repackaging their characters. If they don't work on a particular package, they'll give it to a whole different person, and it'll work with that guy. Oh, it didn't work with him. He wasn't good enough, so we'll give that character to this whole new person, and then it'll work with that. You see how it's all related, and it goes the same with politics, hand in hand. Yeah, I find that whole industry. I mean, I got contacted by. I was talking with a head producer of Warner Brothers, and she, you want to have your own comedy show? You want to have your own show where you go on trips and journeys to different lands like Machu Picchu and all these different sacred spots, and you want to trip and meet these trip on ayahuasca or all these different hallucinogens with all these different types of supposed spiritual shamans who are good people. Well, I'd like to do this live and get it and film it live. Oh, you're gonna take you need to sleep with me, and I need to fuck you consistently for me to be the #1 actor in your part. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. See you guys later.
Wait. Let me just backtrack you on that. You're talking to a woman who's selling you this idea, okay?
Well, no. She took my idea because
So you're talking to a woman.
This was while I was homeless. Yes.
So the woman, either she's a bona fide producer or she's not. She's just using it as a line. So let's say that
she was.
So she's a bona fide producer, but somehow in the exchange, there's the implication that you're going to be her sex slave for a while, whilst this takes off.
Well, let's just say.
Well, wait. First of all, was she hot?
Yeah, she was pretty. She was in. What was that one movie with that one actor from Tony Soprano? Who's the lead actor from from The Sopranos?
I forget his name. The big guy. I mean, Tony Soprano.
Yeah. She was. I mean, she was in one of his movies as a female hot extra. You know, one of those girls in bikinis at a swimming pool party with Johnny Depp. Was it Johnny Depp and her? So and she was. Let's see here. So I was what, 26 years old, 25 years old, and she was 35 years old. So she was 10 years older than me at the time when I was 25. And I was just sitting in the And we start talking because I noticed that she has a New York Yankee hat on. So she's like, "Oh, what's your deal? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm a homeless comedian, private tutor." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just, this is my spot here. I was chilling at a Korean dessert restaurant, which I always hung out at daily because I knew the owners and they let me chill there. Free Wi-Fi, free water, bathroom, games, a lot of good food, delicious fruit infused water, free coffee." Yeah, so yeah, it's just a random off the track story, but yeah, well, we created a relationship. We definitely formulated a relationship. It's not like we started banging straight off the bat, but yeah, we definitely got into it. But then there was the whole, because yeah, she was driving like, what was she drove multiple cars, fucking goddamn Escalade, a fucking Jaguar, fucking other BMW. It was able to fly me out from Buffalo all the way to the Redwood Forest to go fucking. That was the first time I ever visited the Redwood Forest in my life, and that's the first time I visited Esalen. Quite
Oh.
interestingly enough, that's where I discovered Esalen in 2010 for the first time, and I went to the entrance because you're not allowed in, and I was like, oh man, this place looks awesome. I was just like, wow, what vibes? And then the first time I got there, there was this old dude sitting at the top, this hippie dude, and there was like monarch butterflies, of course, monarch butterflies at the MK Ultra. That's hilarious headquarters. But actually, the monarch butterflies they hibernate or sorry what's it called? Hibernate. Migrate to that place. They migrate to the warmer places because they'll die if they stay in the colder places. So yeah, that's where they come because it's nice and warm there. But anyway, so let's see here. All these thoughts intersecting.
So she proposed kind of to push you forward as a roving reporter.
Yeah, that's how he is.
Yeah, as a roving reporting comedian, but you said no thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah,
You're not
and
the boss
she
of
even
me.
did yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And this is I even experienced she even did a little. She got a psych from New Jersey on the phone, and they did a little ritual. And I actually I went on a little field trip to pick up all of these individual things that she needed, like sage and lavender, and 4 pennies that I needed to find on the ground. And like all these
For
weird,
what?
and I did. Like I was walking.
What did he say? For what?
4 copper. 4 pennies.
Pennies. Ah. Huh.
Yeah. So I needed to find the pennies on my little trip for the ingredients that. Oh, and Epsom salt, some certain particular type of honey. I forgot it was. And yeah, like she bathed me actually. I got this is when we were was this when yeah, I think this is when we were seeing each other, sleeping together, and but with no it was like a sugar mama type of. It's like, what the heck's going on here? Like, and then all of a sudden I moved into the penthouse rooftop that I told you about earlier. 6 months later. And that moving into the penthouse rooftop in Los Angeles, which was one building away from her building. And man, it's just so strange. Life is strange.
Life is cool.
So hold on. It is very cool. It's very cool. I'm happy to be alive. But hold on, I want to read this. What Philip K. Dick said about the New Inquisition here. It says, Wilson managed to reverse every mental polarity in me, as if I had been pulled through infinity. I was astonished and delighted.
Wow.
So yeah, Philip K. Dick is given the new review there. Let's see here.
What's that called? The New Inquisition.
Yeah, this is the new Inquisition compared to the old Inquisition, where they burned and killed the flat earthers.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for that.
Yeah, this is a novelist, teacher, and former Playboy editor Robert Anton Wilson brilliantly skewers those third-rate scientists who try to fob off fourth-rate garbage as science. By the new Inquisition, I mean certain habits of repression and intimidation that are becoming increasingly commonplace in the scientific community today. In criticizing what I call fundamentalist materialism, I am opposing the fundamentalism, not the materialism. This book is deliberately shocking because I do not want its ideas to seem any less startling than they are.
Wow. You know, one of the simplest control mechanisms that we have in the world of science and academia, the simplest, you know, you have the peer review. So let's say somebody discovers a treatment for cancer or schizophrenia or whatever, okay?
Yeah.
And they do the test and it's completely bona fide. They test it, double test, and then they put the paper through for review, okay? All it takes for that to never make it onto the mainstream is for no other university department to review it. That's all they have to do. I mean, it might be as absolutely coherent and exact and correct, but as long as another university does not pick it up and reproduce it, it has not been peer reviewed. So it has not passed the peer review. That's it. It's as simple as that. All they have to do is not review it.
So what happens when they don't review it?
Well, it doesn't pass. It doesn't pass the peer review. If the peer review is basically you make a discovery, yeah.
So they pretend that it's passed?
No. They do the opposite. This is what happens. You make a discovery in the world of science. You make a discovery. You write it all up. You pass it on. You publish it through the academic journals, and it gets picked up by another university who reviews your study. Yeah. When they review it, they either confirm or deny it. This is what happened with the cold fusion thing of some years ago. So they review it and they either confirm or deny it. But if they don't review it, your discovery doesn't pass muster because it has not been peer reviewed. In other words, even if they don't review it, it's the same as if it's not true. It doesn't make it through to the public. It's gatekeeping. It's literally gatekeeping. The reason for it is supposed to be to confirm and verify that there were no analytical errors or systemic errors or anything like that. Instead, it's very simple. All I have to do is not accept what's been given to me. I pretend like it was never given to me. Like I don't know about it. It doesn't go out. It doesn't go forward. And this is what happened with all these.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah. These flat earth writers, you know, the king's dethroned and all these people. If what they were saying had been taken on board and reviewed by scientists, we would have started along the correct journey. But instead they didn't. They didn't pick it up. It's laughable.
Yeah, I've seen that meme recently with all those flat earth books from like the mid 1800s to the early 1900s, and there's so many of them. I got a bunch of those, but I have to get the rest.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, this is the thing about the peer review. As long as you know this, anything that the establishment does not want verified and made public will simply not go through the peer review process. That's it. They just say, no, we're not testing this. And there you go. It remains obscure. So I'm looking forward to reading this New Inquisition.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Just go to eBay, type it in, and check the cheapest prices, and then go to Amazon, do the same thing, compare, and then compare the shipping and handling, and you can probably get it for about If you get lucky, you can probably get it for $8.
Yeah, I'll find it. You know.
Right,
but what I'm going to do is, instead of looking for it now, I'm going to read these books. There are two I have these two
okay.
Gulag Archipelago version 1 and 2. So I need to read those and then move on to the next. Otherwise, I end up with too many books to read and I don't get into them. I prefer to, you know,
exactly
take boxes.
where I'm at right now, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I just been like sitting down and laying down, and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to figure out what I really need to do and buckle down with. And I'm screen sharing right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see, everyone can see that I'm screen sharing shit. You can see what I'm. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm on the YouTube page watching.
Remember what I said earlier?
Yeah.
Hold on. Could you hear it?
Yes, I can hear. I just don't want to talk in case the camera kicks over to me. Would you go back to the start? I'm going to tell everybody in chat what we're watching.
You'll see J.R. Bob Dobbs make his legendary appearance, and then after this meeting, Johnny Cash took off and he became a legend. J.R. Bob Dobbs gave him the thumbs up. Be right back. Be right back.
Well, Johnny, he packed up the lever, but he promised he'd be back. He said he had a little ticket to do a little further down the track. He said, I'm your man. I wouldn't do you wrong. Well, Frankie curled up on the sofa, thinking about her man. Far away, the couple were dancing to the music of his band. He was Frankie's man. He wasn't doing her wrong. Then in the front door walked the redhead. Johnny saw her right away. She came down by the bandstand to watch him while he played. He was Frankie's man, but she was far away.
Here he comes, the legend himself.
Singing the song to the redhead. He smiled back at him. Then he came and sat at her table where the lights were low and dim. What Frankie didn't know wouldn't hurt her none.
There's the man himself.
Then the redhead jumped up and slapped him. He slapped him a time or two.
Praise Bob,
He said,
making a real appearance.
I was picking up on
Oh, he's in a lot of historical documents. You can find him.
you better treat her right.
I've never heard of him, man. Like, wow.
The moral law of the story is he good to carry a stick. Sometimes it looks like a guitar pick or just can't tell what to pick. He was Frankie's man, and he still ain't done her wrong.
What does Bob have to say?
Well, you people going forever? They got a swing affair going on.
Rehearsal.
Got a swinging affair going on here. Hold on. I gotta put my headphones in. Sorry. Isn't that awesome?
That was very cool.
Oh, dude, the J.R. Bob Dobbs Sub Genius has the most trippy fucking. I mean, I've watched a lot of videos, but they do a really good job of deprogramming you of globalism. That's all I'm interested in. That's just Robert Anton Wilson, who's like he gave me the go ahead to join the Church of the Sub Genius, and he, matter of fact, Robert Anton Wilson would suggest you join as many organizations as you possibly can. Oh, and what we were talking about earlier, like about the conspiracy and people getting too conspiratarded, is it's like once you find out, and we're talking about Alan Watts and giggling and laughing at the cosmic joke, the cosmic giggle of it all, and it's like once you really find out who's in charge of things, like in your real life, like in your real life that you're living and I'm living, and and once you figure it out yourself personally, you go, wait a minute. Like, so everyone's got it backwards. Like everyone, they did this on purpose so that everyone would think that they're the bad guys, when in reality they're so good that they have you all duped and tricked and conspiratarded. They don't want conspiratards in their initiation to be initiated. They think you're dumb.
It's all there. It's all there in the Illuminatus trilogy, isn't it?
And the weird part is, yes, exactly. When Robert Anton Wilson was talking about the Illuminati, and then the real Illuminati, the behind, which he calls the AA. If you look into that, and then once it comes into your real life, you open up a Crowley book and you get the head, and you get the address to the high chancellors of the AA, and you can contact them by writing a correct letter. And this is in your real life. It's like, wait a minute. I thought this was all fucking Robert Anton Wilson's ideas. I thought this was all like fake. And then once you stumble across Manly P. Hall's Secret Teachings of All Ages, and you get these other books that you combine it with Crowley's, you're like, wait a minute. This is all real. And like, they're all talking about Merlin and fucking King. Like, I had dreams of King Arthur's Excalibur sword the other night, and I was talking about it. I'm like, somebody like threw it into a lake. It was trying to hide it. I'm like, wait a minute, is that the story? Am I dreaming? What's going on? So now I have all these intersecting thoughts that I'm using, and I like to do that because it dissolves boundaries. I do it on purpose. People think that I can't finish a thought or complete it's like I do it to destroy your boundaries and your barriers that you have built up. I do everything.
But Dan, have you? When's the last time you sat down and plotted things out? Any of the things that were percolating around in your mind, and just jotted them down on paper, like on paper by hand, not on computer? When's the last time you did that?
Let's say about, let's see here. About less than 3 months ago, a little bit less. I filled up an entire, almost an entire composition notebook of all my ideas that, like, you know, those like regular, those checkered. Yeah, I filled up all.
So it sounds like it's about time that you do another.
Yeah.
It sounds like to me, it sounds like it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. By the way, you're presenting, you're not presenting yourself.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, congratulations to Math getting his Flat Earth bride. And I hope you two are together forever. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good idea. The power line. That's a smart idea. Let's see here. Bob Dobbs, the hero. The Church of Subgenius, Slack explained. The Cult of Bob. Arise, the Subgenius is a classic. That's their deprogramming movie that I would suggest watching. You watched that one, didn't you?
No, I'm putting it up. I'm pulling it up right now.
Oh yeah, that's the. I mean, you know, there's ways around it. You know, you don't have to be a. What's his name? Pee Wee Herman only paid us like $10. He still owes us like $15. Actually, there's a lot of interest on that, so he owes us like $25, and he's not a real member until he finishes his payment. You know, so so it's just funny, you know. It's just, this is really good though. Like, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah. See, it's just.
I've got it queued. I'll be watching it. I'm tempted to watch it tonight before I go to bed, but I won't. It would be my reward for going to bed early. It's now like almost 2 in the morning.
I'll show you a couple of things that I'm on right now. Got the Terrence McKenna Essalon in-house get together. That's the old picture. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm like Alan Watts in a box. I'm like, I love boxes, and I've already seen it. I'm 23 minutes into that. Good number there. I don't want to click all this shit. It's too much stuff. All right, let's keep this conversation going here. So I watched Doctor Strange yesterday, and Doctor Strange was a doctor in his human life. So
Yeah.
his origin story is that he's a doctor, and he's like tries to make his record perfect.
He's a surgeon. He's not just a doctor. He's a surgeon, isn't he?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I gotta hold on. I turn this oven off real quick.
Okay.
All right. So just making some spinach and artichoke dip with some jalapeno fucking bread. Let's see here. So Doctor Strange, man, it really triggered me too. Hit a chord when Doctor Strange and I'm gonna do some spoilers here. So when don't listen if you want to fucking watch Doctor Strange without some spoilers or whatever. It's not major, but it hits me home. Because Doctor Strange, they were going to pronounce this person dead because he got shot in the head, and he was not responding on their machines. But Doctor Strange, Stephen Strange, he knew that the person's body put itself in some sort of state of temporary shutdown, just to give itself more time, a chance to live, just in case someone can take a bullet out of their fucking head. That's what bodies do. They're smart. They'll survive under all circumstances, even when there's a bullet in your head. And biology, Terrence McKenna thinks that biology is what runs this whole show. Terrence McKenna is like, yeah, it's not matter. And
yes, the same with Bruce Lipton.
Yep,
Bruce Lipton says the same. Yeah.
Yep. And so this one doctor was going to pronounce this other human dead, and Stephen Strange is like, he's like, yeah, no. He's like, you still want to harvest the organs? And that really hit me home, because my brother got we fucking decided to donate as a family his fucking particular organs, skin, grafts, and fucking certain organs that were still good, and the particular organ, the heart. And so, and I've always, and I know I'm like, I've researched into the conspiracies of organ harvesting. Like, not many, like, that's why I just get so fucking possessed and obsessed with retarded conspiratards who haven't even, first off, have you even taken a single high dose of psychedelics like psilocybin, or have you ever even taken a single dose of LSD, or fucking have you ever stumbled across DMT? Like when I hear people talking about egos and telling you about your ego and my ego, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything about egos. You know about the little ego. I know about the big ego, the little ego, the super ego. You gotta catch up on your fucking psychology, people. Have you conspiratards even looked into the conspiracy of organ harvesting? It's not a conspiracy. You have to look at these things, and when they're disgusting and disturbing and appalling, and they make you cry, and they make you weep, and they fill you with anger and rage to the infinity scale. And so when that really actually happened to me, and so when I think, so could my brother have been saved, or did they just want to harvest his organs? So that is something that weighs in my mind. So you have no idea the problems, the issues, and the life that other people are living. This is why I'm trying to be kinder to strangers and talk with strangers like they're fucking my friends, like I would like a fucking I've been having conversations with every fucking cashier register person. There's like, just talk about a movie. What's the last movie you saw? How are you feeling today so far? How's your day going? Instead of just not afraid of looking at them and fucking being all you feel like an idiot because you haven't put your money away and they want to go on to the next. It's like, dude, just relax. Like I'm hyper aware of these situations. It's like I just can't listen to people talk about ego when they haven't even experienced a single ego death. Have you experienced an ego death? Yeah, I was dreaming one time and I saw my ego just shatter in front of me. Okay, that's cool. Dreams are cool. Yeah, a lot of people dream that they see the curve of the earth in space. Listen, sorry to inform you, but it's round, okay? I've seen it in my dreams. It's like, dude, are you fucking listening to yourself? You've seen the curve of your earth in your dreams. That's your fucking proof, man. Holy fucking shit. Jesus Christ, going off tangent here because I got a little touchy, little personal issue there. So let's see here. Yeah, so we're talking about people talking about egos and when they haven't even done any goddamn psychedelics. No offense, but Terence McKenna says if you go through life without experiencing a mystical psychedelic experience, that's like going to the cradle to the grave without having a sexual experience, without having sex. You're so naive and closed-minded if you go to the cradle to the grave without these things. That's what life's all about. You kidding me? So it's a journey, it's a trip. It's like a literal quest, like King Arthur, and you find your mates. Terence McKenna says find the others, find the others. And so I'd like to find some fucking Merlins. And so like King Arthur had his fucking crew with him. He had fucking Merlin. Merlin was fucking the shit. Who else was in that crew? You got fucking King Arthur, Merlin. I gotta learn more about that fucking crew of people.
Lancelot. Lancelot.
Fucking Lancelot. You got that princess lady.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Guinevere.
Yeah. Man, it's like I believe in the story of King Arthur 1,000 times more than I don't believe anything about the Big Bang at all. I believe I tell people I don't believe in anything. I believe in fantasy, King Arthur, literal elf and gnome troll world because it's real. I've seen elves, gnomes, and trolls, and not literal. I mean literal elves and gnomes, but not literal trolls. But what I mean by literal trolls is that globe heads. So I live a lot under the influence of DMT and psilocybin mushrooms. I've had experiences and interactions with 3-foot gnome shadow creatures, and that turned into like little. I have to make a hangout, a psychedelic hangout. I have to make a psychedelic hangout. That's something that's weighing on my mind. That's another thing that I have to get off my chest.
Okay, Dan, do you draw or paint?
Yeah. I used to draw a lot, and I just got that Bob Ross paint set, and I have to goddamn order these paints, but they're fucking expensive. It's like It's like $80 for some paint.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to get his brand. If you go to an art shop, there'll be student paints that are, they're just as usable. The reason I asked, though, you just infected me with your cough. The reason I ask is, if you can draw, why don't you draw these beings? That would be awesome. Draw them, like color them in inks and show them. Because it'd be cool to see.
Yeah. Actually, I can do that. I can do that. That's the point of virtual reality. These movie makers and these game makers, they create their virtual reality, which is like, people would say, like, what do you mean by that? Like, you've seen these things. Okay, well, hold on. Let me make a program, virtual reality simulation, and then you can play it or watch it, literally play a video game or watch it like a movie, and you can see what I mean. Literally, I'll show you what I saw. So that would be awesome I love virtual reality as something. And Terrence McKenna's son, Finn McKenna, is alive, and he's a psychedelic video game maker, and he's going to release his first one of his first video games soon. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So Terrence McKenna's son, Finn McKenna.
Yeah, no, I said cool.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get into that. No, I will release my waterfall.
By the way, you're still displaying the fox.
Oh shit, my bad. Let's see here. How we switch this now?
Listen, Dan, I'm going to stay with you for another 10 or so, and then I'm going to have to go and drop away from this world, or lift from this world.
Oh no. Okay. Whew, I almost ended it right there.
Ooh. Yes, I know what you nearly did.
Yeah, it said. Do you want to end the hangout? I almost did it. All right, I got 20 viewers. Not that bad. Wait. So is it back on my stupid stone tired face?
It's back on you.
All right. So let's see here. So
hey guys, listen. I've been listening to this guy called Jordan Peterson. Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You watch them. Yeah. One of the things I've just watched so much. One of the things he says is, for clearer thinking and higher intelligence, exercise, because you need cardiovascular strength for your brain to get rid of certain byproducts, so that your thinking can happen faster and clearer. And it's like, oh, of course. So so I started exercising. I've not started exercising. I've been exercising all along, but I started exercising more and more conscientiously. Like, yes.
Yeah, I was doing that, like I said, 3 months ago, but I stopped doing all my push-ups, and I still stretch daily, but I stopped doing my push-ups and pull-ups, and I put up. I was watching Ultimate Warrior, and I put up. He pumped me up, so I put up my pull-up bar. And I did like 6 pull-ups. I had to stop for a minute and then do the last 4 because I couldn't even complete a solid 10 set. And yeah, like, it's been raining here like a shitstorm. Like, literally fucking, the water was all the way up to our fucking door. These dudes had to come and put stones and fucking suck up the water because it was pouring so much. And let's see here. And I'm like running outside with Aldo and shit, and I know what you mean by exercising, like with a stick and trying to play. Like, it's really good for the soul to just run around with a stick with a dog, and it's fun. Not to just throw the stick, but to actually, like, to play fetch and have him, but actually have the stick in the dog's mouth and to run with the dog.
They love it.
With the stick.
Love it. You can feel the love from them to you. It's brilliant.
And it made me think about what you said with the exercising, and I'm like moving my ass and my legs, and I'm in good shape, and I'm pretty fit, but yeah, I can lose a solid 15 to 20 pounds. And,
but this is the thing, where we in the conspiracy world especially, it's so absorbing and so sedentary. It's very difficult to keep up with what's going on YouTube if you're out running. But it is a very sedentary thing. And we forget, if you want to be balanced, you have to put some yang to your yin. You know, so if you're going to do something soft and mellow and slow, like sitting down for a long time watching something, then do something hard. You know, balance it. And if same writers, you know, when you see these writers, very popular writers, the ones who are not actually out working out, their bodies are fucked. You know, I mean, look at George R.R. Martin, or look at just, there are so many writers. I mean, even Phil K. Dick, he was fucked. So that's why he died so young, you know. So you have to balance your yin with your yang. That's what the freaking Chinese have been saying all along. Balance it. Don't just hold it as an idea. Balance it. Do it. Have some yin. Make sure you get some yang. If you have a lot of yang, then make sure you have some yin. You know, it's kind of simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm gonna pour a little drink here. You're gonna get going in like 5 minutes, you said.
Yeah.
I think I might do another hangout in an hour, and I'll do it. What it'll be called? Episode 3.2. Breaking. Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be called. Breaking Bad. I don't know why. I just put Breaking Bad because everyone loves that show. So I put Breaking Bad, globalism, or just watching a Lakers game. Just the typical thing. But every time I'm watching these shows now, WWE or basketball, I'm waiting for that flat Earth comment, and they come out. And,
nice. Hey, can I tell you something? You just reminded me with Breaking Bad. Can I tell you one of these things?
Yeah.
It's not quite an anachronism. It's just one of these things. My brother is really good at seeing these real simple things. Okay, with Titanic, for instance, he said, "Hey, you know where Leonardo DiCaprio dies because he puts her on that chest and there's no room for him and he dies." Like he says, when I was watching it, I thought, oh shit, if he'd left her in the boat, then he could have that piece of luggage, you know. So and then he also says, with the Lord of the Rings, the Eagles come and save them at the end. Why didn't they just go there on the Eagles and drop it in? Like, oh damn it, yeah. Well, one of these things happened with me, and I told him, and he's like, oh, I never saw it, which was from Breaking Bad. The guy's a chemistry genius. He's a chemistry genius. He has cancer. How come he didn't know about MMS and cancer, or cannabis and cancer? Come on, how come? You know, because he is supposed to be a chemistry genius. We forget that part of the story where he meets up with the old colleague who's made a fortune from his discovery. So yeah, that was one of those things. Oh
yeah, I'm going to show this quick clip here, which we've all seen. It's less than a minute here. It's a nice segue. Could you see what I'm showing?
Yeah. Let me just check on YouTube.
It's about to load here.
Right before your surgery, I asked if you had packed your cell phone, and you said, which one?
When? Skylar, I was meditating. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
I think you the truth. Which one?
When? I meditated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
I think you accidentally told the truth.
I was meditating.
You seen that, right?
I could have
Yes.
said the world was flat. You know, I think
I could love that shit, dude.
And not only that, so she's spot on. I think you accidentally told the truth, but he has engaged with a Freudian slip where he has actually said what he meant. So he's thinking, shit, I was medicated. I probably said the truth. I could have said the earth was flat.
I was medicating, you know.
I accidentally said the truth. I might as well have said the earth was flat. Yeah. But of course.
I'm gonna end this with I mean, you can listen if you want, but I'm gonna end this with I'm gonna shuffle these cards here. I'm gonna pick so everyone listening, pretend like this card is for you. So I'm gonna shuffle this Zen tarot card, and I'm gonna pick one card. So the listeners and people in the chat room who are the listeners, and Antonio, you can play along or whatever to set you off for your night. I'm just gonna pick one card here at random, and I'm gonna use it for. Let's see here. I'm gonna use it for.
You're still displaying the celebrate the truth.
Here you go, my bad. Thank you. Let's see here.
Better.
All right.
You're back.
So, let's turn that on. All right. So, I will shuffle this. So everyone pretend, play along, and pick an issue that you need to resolve in your life. Issue that's been bothering you lately. Let's see. Oh, shit, I closed off the fucking chat room, so I can't see what people are saying. Whatever. So, let's see here. Pick one card here. And this card will, I'm going to make it represent for me, what step should I take immediately in my life?
That's
right after this.
That's my thought too, Dan, by the way.
Nice.
Just to let you know, what's keeping me from what's causing me to procrastinate from making the next move.
All right. So that will be in this next card. Maybe it won't even fucking relate at all. Okay, maybe it won't relate at all. But I'm still gonna pick the card, and I'm gonna read it for you all. So let's see here. Baby step. This will represent the baby step. Here goes. Yoink. I don't want to. Let's see here. Remember what I said at the beginning of this podcast about letting things go? See what it says?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So this is going to be an impactful one. Wow, it's a beautiful picture of a lily pad. A lily pad is a round, circle, flat shape. So
on
you
water.
All know.
On water.
On water. And oh, wouldn't you know it? The water that's collecting on the lily pad, it's pear-shaped, sometimes spherical even. So obviously the Earth is spherical because of raindrops that are oblate, spheroids, spheres, and pear-shaped. So that's why they have all those models. And then the flat Earth model is because when the water hits, it levels out and goes flat. Sorry. So let's see here. It says it's beautiful. It shows the water dripping into the lake, and it shows the ripples in the pond. It's very serene, beautiful, serendipitous. 8, letting go. I believe that this will be a minor arcana card. So let's see what it has to say about what I just said and what we just discussed. Here we are. Water, emotions. Another theme that I hit earlier today is emotions. Minor arcana, like I said. Water, emotions. Let's see here. In this image of lotus leaves in the early morning, we can see in the rippling of the water that one drop has just fallen. It is a precious moment, and one that is full of poignancy. In surrendering, ha 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 ha, we have a gravity mention. In surrendering to gravity and slipping off the leaf, no, 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 Osho. In surrendering to its own weight and the density of the water compared to the air surrounding it and slipping off the leaf, the drop loses its previous identity and joins the vastness of the water below. We can imagine that it must have trembled before it fell, just on the edge between the known and the unknowable. To choose this card is a recognition of something, that something is finished, something is completing. Whatever it is, a job, a relationship, a home you have loved, anything that might have helped you to define who you are. It is time to let go of it, allowing any sadness, but not trying to hold on. Something greater is awaiting you. New dimensions are there to be discovered. You are past the point of no return now. And density and buoyancy and your own weight is doing its work. Go with it. It represents liberation. And the last part here. In existence, there is nobody who is superior and nobody who is inferior. The blade of grass and the great star are absolutely equal. But man wants to be higher than others. He wants to conquer nature. Hence, he has to fight continuously. All complexity arises out of this fight. The innocent person is one who has renounced fighting, who is no longer interested in being higher, who is no longer interested in performing, in proving that he is someone special, who has become like a rose flower or like a dewdrop on the lotus leaf, who has become part of this infinity, who has melted, merged, and become one with the ocean, and is just a wave. He has no idea of the I. The disappearance of the I is innocence. Yeah, so that's what I struggle with is in egolessness and ego, love and fear, of being someone special and being no one at all.
But you
That's
know, if there's a way for you to look at yourself and look at life that might remove the struggle from it, which is if you consider that everybody else has got qualities about them that if you were to embody those qualities, you would cherish because they're qualities that you don't have. If you can see that everybody else has these qualities and in their eyes, you also have that quality. So what to do is see others and then see yourself through their eyes, and you don't have to let go of the ego in, ego out idea. You don't have to. You can be just as sublime as you want or just as slow as you want. It doesn't matter. It's not, it doesn't make you. This is the thing. It doesn't make you. You already are. Now it's a case of using it for whatever ends you want.
Brilliantly said. And I loved your what you said earlier about the Native Americans, how they let the person talk in the tribe and get all his thoughts out and then respond after thinking about it. I always like I know I interrupt people a lot because I just want to know what the fuck they mean. And but at the same time but at the same time I do let I definitely give people a couple of seconds before I respond. I don't know where I heard that from. Might have been Don Juan actually and Carlos Castaneda. I'm pretty sure Don Juan told Carlos to wait 3 seconds before he responds to someone. Just don't respond back. Wait till they haven't spoken for 3 seconds. Maybe that was Terrence McKenna or Don Juan, yeah, it was or Alan Watts maybe. Yeah, it was one of those dudes. He said wait 3 seconds before you respond, and I try to wait like 2.5. 3 seconds is a long time, but but like I think I do a pretty good job of it of regulating my interrupting people, And you know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. So thank you for joining my episode 3.1. Just shooting the shit here.
When you just said that you know that I know what you mean, I was sat here counting with my fingers. I was going to wait 3 seconds before saying anything. But yeah, I do know what you mean.
Well, it's tough because it's like, I know I always have I always have a reply ready. I know.
Well, there's also this. When you wait 3 seconds, the person that's finished speaking feels pressured because they don't know. Are you waiting because they haven't left a point that they've not concluded on a point that's solid enough for you to have gathered that they've concluded their point? Is that why the other person is waiting? But this is part of the thing that causes the misinformation between us in the West. But in a challenge or any kind of confrontation or a debate, if you wait a few seconds after the other person has finished making their point, you calm everything down. And everything is always better, calmer, apart from when you need to not be calm, you know? So it's a good tool. It's a good tool. And by the way, for anybody who hasn't read the teachings of Don Juan, to Carlos Castaneda, Don Juan is infuriating because he won't give a straight answer. He doesn't understand that every single answer Don Juan has given has been a straight answer, but he keeps thinking he's meaning something else, okay? But to Don Juan, Carlos is stupid. His Western mind has made him retarded. And he points this out all of the time to him.
All the time.
Yeah, I love it. Anybody who hasn't read it, please read it. Oh, Dan, by the way, I don't know if you've read this book, but if you haven't read it, I think you will love it more than anything. But I think you probably have read it. The Catcher in the Rye.
Actually, it's weird you said it. No, that was a required reading material in my school growing up, and yeah, it was cool to. Is that the dude who was swearing and shit and who was dating prostitutes or something like that?
Yeah, but did you read it for yourself? Did you read it to absorb it, or were you reading it for school for answering questions?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, no, I didn't really totally get into it. Like,
read it.
I did read it, but I only read like half of it because I was like homework.
You know what? I know somebody. I said this to somebody, and they read it. Okay, and I said, "What did you think?" I said, and I said, "Didn't you see?" And she said, "No. What was I supposed to see?" He's like, "You haven't read it, have you? Did you read it? And was it in a dialogue going on? What? Because there's." The point of The Catcher in the Rye, the reason it's called The Catcher in the Rye, the whole point of the whole everything of it, it will break you, and then you can pull yourself together and you see the world in a much clearer kind of way. Freaking hell, it's incredible. Dan, read it. Read it.
I have the books in my room. Yeah, I will.
Read it calmly. And don't, oh man, just let me know what you think after you've read it. Let me know what you think, because you'll see it. You'll be like, oh, your mind will be blown. Your mind will be blown.
I'll go back to it. I have a lot on my reading list.
It's especially significant for you. But I mean, I'm not just saying this. It's especially significant for you, for Daniel Falkenbach.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and to finish my final thoughts here, Jerry Springer is like I said, I watched Doctor Strange yesterday, and yeah, so that happened, but I forgot to finish my thought because I triggered myself. And let's see here, it was this guy was a normal Western, completely materialistic person. Dr. Stephen Strange, completely materialism, Western science. And then all this, like, I have all these books now about the law of attraction and obviously the biology belief and the power of belief. And it's like that, I hate belief. I've been anti-belief for fucking 7 years. I hate belief. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want anything to do with it. And anti-dogmas. I don't want your fucking ideologies or your dogmas. And so now, 7 years later, now I'm coming back to it and getting back into belief. So it's, and oh, to finish my goddamn thought is Dr. Strange hated belief too. And his journey brought him to Eastern traditions and philosophies. And he actually traveled to the yogis and the high adepts of secret societies in India or wherever the fuck it was, somewhere over there.
Tibet.
And yeah. And he started to his journey to start was to learn all these like secret society, all these tomes, all these Freemason. I noticed it was like occult knowledge. So Dr. Strange was training with his occult knowledge and learning the spell of time and the infinity and the natural law. Natural law. He made a natural law fucking reference, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like they're talking about harvesting organs and he's reading these fucking Freemasonic books and Eastern traditions and fucking power of belief, and man, it's just really hit home to me. It was an incredible movie. I suggest you watch that. Yeah, and it had like a DMT scene, where he fucking where the woman.
Wait. This is a big spoiler.
Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say anything. You called it. I'm not gonna say anything.
It blew my mind.
Yeah. So yeah.
So good. It was so good.
Did you? So you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That scene that I just was about to talk about. That was an exact DMT trip, except the only difference is that you're aware, you're watching yourself do that. You're not just that person in that flying through those different dimensions, being shattered and meeting all these different entities. You're aware of it. You're consciously aware that you're high on DMT and that you're flying through these different dimensions and your ego is dying and so that's the difference between watching what happened on the screen compared to actually observing yourself flying through different screens, literally. So yeah, that's a big difference. But yeah, so I finally got all those thoughts and different threads of chords of thought out, and that was good. I got pretty much finished. There's a few loose ends that I always leave untied, so I can continue on. But yeah, that was good.
You know when you have they're fragmented thoughts. Okay, each thought is a coherent thought, but it's only a portion. It's only a fragment of the rest of the thoughts, and other thoughts come in. Is part of the high IQ kind of problem. When you put them down, when you write them down, even if you don't write them to their entirety, because a thought comes in that you have to write down and interrupt the previous thought, when you read back through it, the thoughts that were there are still there. The continuation are still there. You know, they're just, what you're writing down is really just a mnemonic for the rest of the thought. So that's why I was saying a mnemonic. A mnemonic is MN. Yeah,
I never heard of that.
It's basically like an icon, an iconic thought or a token thought that embodies the entirety. You know, it embodies the entirety of the thought. So it's just an emblem. So when you look at that emblem, you see the whole of the thought. That's what an
emblem. Very good word there. Freaking, let's end on this note. Is talking about emblems. Is Terence McKenna said that like you can like while you're under the influence of DMT, you can create little buttons or emblems of like you can bring back. The whole point of going on these trips is to bring a piece of what you saw back. So he calls like a psychedelic journeyer or a pioneer, where you travel into the abyss and into the unknown, and you take a piece of it and you try to bring. It's like fishing. It's like Terence McKenna said, you're fishing in an ocean of the unknown, and you don't want to get you don't want to try to fight with a shark, a great white shark. you're probably going to lose. So what you're going to do is you just put a little bit of bait on, and you get a nice salmon or a nice sized bass, and you just reel that in real slow, and you can pull back a nice sized fish or an idea, a small idea, because you can never produce these ideas without DMT. That's the whole point of the psychedelics, that I eventually will be the psychedelic flat earth guy, because there doesn't seem to be too many of us, at least true ones. But yeah, that's why I have to name my experiences and get them all out and tell everyone what I've seen and share everyone with that. And it's a lot. It's really a lot. It's super intense. It's super personal. And involves ego. It's fucking a lot. It's a lot, man. And
well, Dan, imagine if you'd written some of what you've spoken about tonight down. You know, just mainly the chunks that you've spoken about. If you had those written down and you had a multitude of others, imagine sitting where you are now with that piece of paper in front of you, and the connections, you'll be like, right, now I'm talking about this, now I'm talking, boom, but all kinds of other connections will come to you then that weren't part of the coherent thought that you put down. You know, it's a good way of pulling ahead. Yeah, it's a good way of advancing. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these people, they just have to admit that you can't do it sober. See, they want to pretend that they can do it sober without the use of a power plant by nature. See, you can't do it alone. You need the help of these power plants and hopefully a good shaman guide. That's the whole point of humbling yourself, because if you think that you can sit there in your little lotus position and meditate and go, like, sure, you can maybe feel euphoric and visit the astral plane or whatever it is, like Dr. Strange. Oh yeah, and I said fucking, I'm sorry to keep you an extra fucking 5-10 minutes, Antonio, but I said about a week ago that I have to start studying the astral plane more and looking into this more to my roommate. And lo and behold, Dr. Strange, on his quest, on his journey to become Dr. Strange, his whole thing was the astral plane. Like, it's like, he's like, oh, so I have to learn about the astral plane, and I'm like, I just said that a couple days ago, and it's just oh yeah, so you have to admit that you can't do it without psilocybin and DMT. Like, these people are like, yeah, I could totally feel like on 5 grams of psilocybin or 3 tokes of DMT. I can totally feel that way while I'm meditating. No, you can't. You're a liar. You're a globalist liar. You can't get to those states of mind without those hallucinogens.
It's not so much that they can't. It's like, yeah, they can have a trip. People can pull themselves into trips, but what they can't do is pull themselves into a trip where they don't have control of the trip, where the trip is going to pull you to places you don't know.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's called using it correctly. Because if you take too small of a dose, well, then you didn't destroy your ego enough. Because your ego is trying to hold on to itself. Because it's been your ego is now contaminated with a foreign substance, and the foreign substance is called the mushroom or the DMT or the LSD or whatever you think whatever you're using. It's destroying your ego, and it's fusing with it. Actually, it's synthesizing together. They're becoming one, whether it refuses it or not. And guess what? If you refuse the drug, you're going to have a bad trip. That's what's called a bad trip. And that's why they don't go back into it, because your ego's too big. You used too small of a dose and you didn't destroy it enough. Hell, I've used high doses of mushrooms and taken three tokes of DMT multiple occasions. And I know I still have giant ego deaths awaiting me in the future. It's like, it's pretty intense, people. And I wish you well on your journey. And Antonia, I wish you well on your journey, your path. It's like I just don't want to. Yeah, I don't think I'm pessimistic. I'm saying I'm a pretty fucking optimistic person. So I don't know. I'll leave you guys on some optimism. I want you all to feel better about yourselves. I think most of you, probably 99% of you, are smarter than you even realize. And if you devote yourself to something beyond yourself, you will see your potential of yourself clearly, as clear as the flat horizon at a beach. And yeah, that's the struggle we all struggle with, is our ego versus egolessness, feeling special, like becoming someone in the world, achieving something, achieving competition. The whole world is locked into the competition world. It's a fun world. It really is. That the competition world is sports. It's all sports. It's all school, education, schooling, religion. Yes, even religion is competition. Competitious. Um, Schooling, sports, religion, science, and then the sports. Like, yeah, it's a competition. Comedy, the entertainment business. It's all competition. It's a fine world. It's okay to feel special, that you want to feel individually special. It's okay. You deserve to feel that way. You should feel that way. But it's really okay to let that go too at the same time. I'm letting you know that I personally struggle with that on a daily basis.
Dan, listen, you know, you were reading the description of card number 8, letting go, with the dropping. Okay. I was thinking all of the time, why is it not describing the leaf, the state of the leaf? It's the leaf that has let go. It's the leaf that's now different. The drop is what has been let go of. It's the leaf that's different. And with that, I'm going to leave you. See you later, Dan.
All right, Antonio. No, thanks for coming on, man. We'll talk again soon.
Cheers.
Have a nice night, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you later.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Oh, man. Bye-bye, Antonio. Whew. It's always a great time having intellectually stimulating folks on the hangout with me. Love having like-minded people who are entrenched in the flat earth awakening. I don't care who the fuck you are. All walks of life are welcomed. I'm going to read some of these comments, put these books away. I'm going to start another hangout, I think. Maybe I should just... So I'll start another hangout in like 25 minutes. Should I? And start drinking some straight whiskey. Yeah, man. I quote fucking Terrence McKenna all the time. Quote Robert Anton Wilson. You can tell who my biggest influences are by the people that I quote all the time. I take their quotes all the time. Oh man, I remember the first time watching Requiem for a Dream. One of the first times, the first time I watched Requiem for a Dream was, I think, like the second time I ever got high. I was at like a mansion party when I was like 19 or 20 years old, one of my friends' houses, and Requiem for a Dream was on in the upstairs room. Everyone was fucking smoking and getting high. I walking into that shit, dudes are fucking heroin overdoses and they get infected from the fucking syringe, and he's cutting his fucking arm off. I'm all high and drunk and there's people all passed out. I'm like, is my life becoming Requiem for a Dream? Oh my God. And then Jennifer Connelly's doing double dildo scene, getting blasted fucking ass to ass with the girl at the end, with fucking all these dirty globalist Satanists. They're throwing money at them. Like, holy shit, that's intense. Yeah, like and subscribe, everyone. Thank you for joining. That was fun. Put a lot of my ideas and personal deets context. It's a lot. Dark matter matters, folks. I've been astral traveling since baby. You don't live others' mind. You don't dream. Or am I just careful? Don't judge. No, I can judge. Antonio, good night. Good night, Cindy. Peace. Once you grow close and study your unconscious or subconscious, you get in tune and you can work your dreams nicely. Thanks, Tony. Dan, can you share some Essalon experiences sometime? Yeah. See what? I'll combine my psychedelic hangout. So like, fuck. God damn it. Too many globalism hangouts. I gotta do a fucking psychedelic hangout. I gotta do a Flat Earth psychedelic hangout episode 3.2 or 3.3. I'll do like a Freemason episode 3.3 with a 33. Make sure that I get marked as a shill because I cannot remember the last time I had a dream. Thank you. Gotta charge my phone. Doing another chat? Yeah, I think I will. I gotta eat some spin dip here that I didn't eat. It's nice and cold. And I'm gonna pour a drink and do some Flat Earth Los Angeles Lakers basketball, breaking bad globalism. So I am the Flat Earth NBA basketball WWE Hollywood aka entertainment business Freemasonry adept of many sciences including natural law, natural science, behavioral science, and spirit science, and political science, and among other things. This is the ego part of myself. Egomaniac Dan speaking now. So thank you for joining me, panel and chat room and viewers. Speak your soul, speak your mind, and praise Bob.